Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Monica and I post videos all about the stimulus checks and all about personal finance. So if you're interested in topics like those, you already know what to do. Be sure to subscribe down below to my channel. Also, please like this video, Hulk smash the like button, turn on your post notifications, and without further ado, let's hop into this new HEALS Act. So of course we know the Republican GOP, they released their stimulus bill yesterday and they called it the HEALS Act. Now there are very big differences between the HEALS Act and the HEROES Act. Now we know the HEROES Act was proposed by the House Democrats. The HEALS Act was proposed by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And the biggest thing for you all to know is that there are large differences, but the HEALS Act is the bare minimum that we could be receiving. Once again, don't think that because they said $200 a week for unemployment, that's gonna be what it is. The HEALS Act is the starting point. And from there, we can grow once we have negotiations with the Democrats and the Republicans, and we can have a real bill formed. So Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer was on CBS this morning today to discuss the Senate Republicans' proposal for a new stimulus package and what it will take to make a deal. Now, the first thing, let me clear this up, a few things. There seems to be confusion because I had a couple people ask, is this the final bill? The answer is no. You can look at the Senate Republicans' bill as the minimum that we could receive, and you can look at the House Democrats' bill as the maximum that we could receive. So I personally believe that we're gonna probably be somewhere in the $300 range for unemployment, the weekly benefits. The Republicans have said it time and time again, they do not want an extra $600 a week. They have said it too many times to count. So we know for a fact that the Senate Republicans are not going to go for this $600 a week, but we shall see what happens in the weeks to come. What's really interesting to me too is that this coming Saturday is August 1st. So that means that they have until next week to get it together, put a bill together, put their differences aside, come together and make a bill, because if they don't do it by August 7th, they are going to have a 1 month long break before they come back and they make a decision on what will be happening with the next stimulus bill. Now to me, that's just unacceptable. They definitely should remove this break that they have coming up next week, because right now a lot of Americans are having to choose between healthcare, food, rent. They're having a lot of tough decisions to make, and as our elected officials, they need to be in DC or on the phone making decisions for the American people who they serve, who we have hired to work for us. They need to be making these decisions, and they need to make them rather quickly. So what they propose is a starting ground for negotiations. For example, let's say you want to know what's going on for the next stimulus bill, and I want you to smash the like button. We both have something we want, and now in order for us both to get what we want, we need to compromise. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do all the research I can to get you all the latest information about the stimulus, and you are going to like this video. And that is called negotiation and compromise. And that's what we need the Democrats and the Republicans to do. But truthfully, both parties want different things, and now is the point when they are going to sit down together and create a bill where both sides of the table are going to be happy. The Republicans and the Democrats actually sat down last night to begin negotiations. So let's take a listen to what Chuck Schumer had to say about their negotiations.
Negotiations with the White House started last night. You and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi were there. Where do we stand right now?
Well, unfortunately, we're pretty far apart right now, although I'm optimistic we could have a good solution at the end. Here's where we are now. We Democrats have put together a package that is bold and strong and deals with the average needs of people. We don't let them get kicked out of their homes because they've lost their job through no fault of their own. We give them a good amount of unemployment insurance so they can pay. We put in money to feed kids. We put in money to open schools safely. People want schools open, but it has to be done safely. safely. And we give money to state and local governments because thousands, hundreds of thousands of firefighters and bus drivers and garbage workers will be laid off. The Republican plan does almost none of these things. It is stingy. It doesn't provide any money, for instance, for more food for people who need to feed their kids. It provides their unemployment insurance. You're telling people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own, they get a 30% pay cut. It does nothing for state and local governments, is woefully inadequate in helping our schools open. Instead, Anthony, amazingly, it has all these corporate benefits. No money for food stamps, but a deduction for a 3-martini lunch for a big businessman.
So as we can see here, the GOP wants to extend the unemployment for $200 a week versus the $600 a week. And then once they have completed the $200 a week for the month of September, they would like for October for it to be 70% of a worker's wage. Now, once again, they're asking a lot of the state and local governments, which they didn't even offer to help. If you think about it, they're asking for the state and local governments to do so much in terms of 70%, do all the calculations, have people submit W-2s and 1099s and tax forms for millions of people, and they're trying to calculate 70% of whatever they made previously to crank that out. But the GOP didn't even offer any help or aid to state and local governments. They did give them the opportunity to use some of the $150 billion that was approved up previously to help them along, but truthfully, it's gonna be a tough thing to get done.
Big cushion for defense contractors, no cushion for people who'd be kicked out of their house. And to boot, they threw in there, President Trump wants the FBI headquarters built near his hotel so no new competing hotel could come in. $2 billion for that. So the bottom line is, and one more point, half the Republicans of the Senate even think that's too generous. So we're pretty far apart, and the negotiations were disappointing.
Yep.
Now here we're hearing that they were having a hard time with negotiations. Apparently it was really just a bloodbath where one person wanted what they wanted, the other person wanted what they wanted, and no one was really coming together. But I'm hoping and praying that they can come together and make a decision, because I know you and I are both looking and waiting for that next $1,200 stimulus check. It's going to be so needed and helpful in this time, so let's continue listening.
So, Senator, I mean, the supplemental benefit, unemployment benefit, has already run out for a lot of people. It's due to run out for a lot more by the end of the week. So if you're this far apart, what's the real hope here of getting a deal so these people aren't in a panic, as our David Begnaud reported from Florida already today?
Even if you did the Republican plan, most states said unemployment benefits would be cut off anyway because it's a whole new plan and they have to readjust their computers, hire new people. Many states say it would take months before people would get their checks. There's a simple solution. The House has passed, and we Senate Democrats support simply extending the existing $600 a month till January. That could go into effect easy. That can help our economy because it puts money in people's pockets, and then they buy things and go to the stores. That's the only thing that's kept the economy going, and we can get it done.
But Senator,
we urge our Republican colleagues. You know, in the last two bills, the last two COVID bills, they were very stingy. We Democrats said it had to be better, and they came in our direction. I'm hopeful that will happen again. This is a huge crisis, and if we are too stingy, it's going to get worse. That's what the president's actions has shown thus far. We're trying to overcome it.
The clock is ticking here. Can you reach a deal by the end of the next week?
I hope so, and that's what we're working for. We'll sit down. We're going to sit down again today. We'll sit down 24/7. People's needs are so great that we will do whatever we can to reach a deal, but without foregoing their basic needs.
Senator Schumer, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Good to talk to you, Anthony.
So that is it. That is your update for today. So to summarize everything, pretty much the Senate Republicans have released their proposal yesterday. The Democrats have their proposal that they have agreed upon since May, and now they have about a week and change to make a decision, come together. We know what both parties want. Now let's see how they bring both their goals together and make a bill for the American people, and hopefully it will be the best bill and the strongest bill, and that we don't have to keep waiting and seeing who's going to do what. There should be automatic stabilizers, hopefully whenever the unemployment goes below a certain level, there are some triggers, there are some things that automatically kick in, so we don't have to wait for Congress to come back to make all these decisions. So that is it. That is the end of your video for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all in my next stimulus check and stimulus package update.